What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chad Arms, a.k.a. Chatty Bobby Olumbo.
Hello, my name is Tony, a.k.a. Friday the 14th. I'm not following that one. You got something special?
No, I'm Hot Mike Chance. How's it going?
We got the man, the myth, the legend himself back again in studio.
I'm so happy to be here.
Brandon
I'm
E.
so happy. I've been in Zamunda.
He's here. He's here.
Shout out to Akeem the Dream, the Jive Soul Bro. No, shout out to Slick. This episode is brought to you by Slick. Just
Is
Slick.
it? Just
That's it.
I think we have one more partnership that we have to give credit to on this one.
Okay.
Give it.
Acclaim.
Acclaim
yes.
Sports. Acclaim video, whatever it is. Absolutely.
Yes.
It's going to be a major sponsor.
It's
of
a
this.
third cousin of EA Sports. It's in the game.
And,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy?
What is it?
EA's. I'm gonna start ranting about Madden. Listen, it's a whole different episode. We'll go back another time. Madden, change your fucking game. Every year it's the same damn game with an updated roster. Fuck out of here.
Hey, I'll tell you. Give me Bill Walsh college football back.
Dude, I'm
give
so
me
hyped
that
for
back.
NCAA's dropping.
I agree with
NCAA. So
Yes.
this is the first episode that we've done. This is episode 58, right?
58, dude. It's
Dude, shout out to Derek Thomas. Was he number 58?
Ooh, that was
I believe
good
you are
call right
correct.
R.I.P.
What was the linebacker for the Tampa Bay Bucks? Who am I thinking of?
Derek Thomas.
Was that no? Derek Thomas. He was with the Kansas City
I was
Chiefs,
gonna say
wasn't he?
Simeon Rice, but he's a defensive end.
Yeah.
When I think of Tampa Bay, I think of Mike Allstott. I wore number
All-Star
40.
was- dude,
I was a
way
fullback
better.
in middle school. Shout out to Todd Central Rebels.
Shout out to the cowboy collar back in the day that made you look so
much
fucking
bigger,
huge.
so much
You-
bigger.
I mean, you look like an intimidating force with the cowboy collar.
I
on
went back
in
and
the
watched a
days.
lot of YouTube highlights of Mike Allstott. That dude was a
Dude,
forever
he
beast.
ran.
Angry.
Mike Allstott ran people the fuck over.
He
You're
ran
talking
over
about
all
Derek-
your Falcons' feelings. I know that.
Everybody, yeah.
I think the Falcons
No.
hurts his feelings weekly. in
Nobody
general.
hurts the Falcons.
Oh, Allstott did.
I know.
Look at them highlights.
I know.
Yes,
you were
he
talking
did.
about. You were talking about Derek Brooks.
Yes, you are so
Yeah.
much.
Was he number 58?
I don't know
He
what
was
He was a
55.
linebacker. He had a 5
If
in
we're
his name.
wrong,
He was a man-
I'm
he was a
sorry.
man,
If
though.
they're- I know the Derek Thomas passed
Yeah.
on. and-
None of the Buccaneers
He's making
matter,
sa-
so.
Coming from a Falcons fan over here.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, this is gonna be our first ever episode about video games.
It is. It is. But it's going to be wrestling video games.
Wrestling video games, man. There's so many more than I remember there being.
Jeez,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
All four of us haven't played all of them, but we've played a good amount of them, and it's going to be fun to talk about. And we're going to try to keep this episode from moving on. I think we're going to try to keep the episodes around the 30-minute mark, unless it's like a big episode that obviously we'll need to devote more time to. But so we'll just get right into it, man.
And with these shorter episodes, it gives us a chance. It'll break apart episodes where we can come back to something and do
Absolutely.
a part 2 on
Part
it and
2,
everything.
part 3, part 708.
11, yeah.
But we were all childs of the 80s and the 90s and everything. And
I think children of the 80s.
Yeah.
Childs.
Childs.
Shout out Chris Childs.
That's the southern redneck coming out of there right there, okay?
I know, it's all good, dude. I
We were
can't
all
speak
children.
English.
Let me be politically correct.
No,
and
say
grammatically
Childs, dude.
correct.
I like it better. Sorry.
We were all children of the 80s.
We
and
were
all this-
children.
Chilling of the 80s. We all had a Nintendo system, correct?
This is
Yep.
true.
Okay.
Yes.
And we all had. I had. My dad was a huge wrestling fan, so we had pro wrestling. Just the game Pro Wrestling
Wrestling.
from 1987. Starman was the character in that one.
And you know what?
Yes.
I mean, you know how I believe sponsored them was Troubled Spirits, Revolution One Media, The Natural Disasters, Jimmy Hart and Gene Okerlund, plural, Brian Pillman,
Sanchez Turner.
who looks like the Godfather, Sting, and Virgil, a.k.a. Mr. Meat Sauce.
What up, Mr. Meat Sauce? R.I.P. Mr. Meat Sauce.
Give me some breadsticks.
Breadsticks attacked me after the breadsticks.
But I
So,
know
yeah, pro wrestling. Go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking, Brandon. Me and you were talking pre-show
Yes.
that you were a huge fan of this game.
Yes.
You had one of the characters was from Korea, and his name was. Let me get this correct.
Yeah, be careful.
Ken Korn Karn.
Not to be confused with Cream Kern. Okay.
No.
But Starman, right? Though.
Yeah, and
Starman,
the Giant Panther.
The Giant Panther. You're taking me back right now.
Dude,
Yeah.
I forgot about that game until y'all started naming Starman.
Yeah,
When you
for
said
sure.
Starman, I was like, oh my god.
He had the
bro.
pink Pepto Bismol outfit on with the blue star on his
I-
face.
Did it have an arcade version?
I feel like it
Maybe
did.
it
I think,
did.
I think so.
with Starman in there.
And
it
it's
may
weird
could've-
because for whatever reason, like I know it didn't, but I associated it with AWA.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know if they were like wrestlers are supposed to be like, they don't know if they
Knockoffs.
I just for some reason I just kind of equated it with AWA.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, but I was super young. That's like, I was really, really young playing that game, but I just thought it was super cool. It was
Amazing.
wrestling, and I was like,
On the Nintendo.
yeah, for sure.
It is-
That's
me
the
and
OG.
Ken Murphy played
for
that
us.
game a bunch.
No, was this pro wrestling from 85,
Yes.
86?
87.
Okay, yeah, it's got to be the same one.
Yeah.
It's showing me right here.
I think they went from Star Crunch to Starman.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Shout out to Lil Debbie. Shout out to Lil Debbie.
Oh, I love me some Star Crunch. That ice cream, that Star Crunch ice cream.
I ain't had that one.
Yeah, get it at Walmart.
I can't do the Star Crunch. You
didn't like Star Crunch?
No, they're all right.
Look, you don't like the Rice Krispies?
Yeah, I like them. Why am
Why
I
did you
talking
get
like
so-
that?
Why you get so high-pitched?
Because I don't like them, and I'm just trying to say I do.
He's
'cause
trying
I
to
like 'em.
segue to silly his
Yeah,
love for Nutty
right.
Buddies. That's what it is.
I love some Nutty
I
Buddies,
know you
dude.
do,
Oh,
man.
yeah, I'll get down on some.
Don't forget, I know this guy.
Yeah,
So-
dude, he does. But dude, back to Starman, dude. Great character on that game. Horrible movie. Starman is a horrible movie. John Carpenter. We've talked about it before.
Jeff Bridges.
But yeah, that was. I remember playing that. I don't think I ever owned that. But somebody I knew owned it because that's the only way I would have been able to play it.
And then and Starman went from Stardust, and Stardust is the new heavyweight champion. Everybody shout out to Cody Rhodes.
Small world.
Yeah,
Five
dude.
later, what is it? 5?
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon too.
Shout out to Kevin Bacon.
Shout-
Just shout out to Kevin. He has nothing to do with this.
Shout out
this
to Bacon.
episode.
That's
love me some bacon.
That's a good name.
Right brand bacon. Love it.
If it ain't
Okay,
if it
anyways.
ain't right bacon, that's the
then we-
wrong bacon.
That's right. Shout out. Come shout at us.
Any bacon sponsor,
Yeah.
I will love you for life.
Yep.
And then you had, of course, the first WWF game in
Yes.
1988. WWF
That's where it
WrestleMania.
really set it off for me.
That's the first wrestling game I ever owned.
Everyone
Yeah.
played Hulk Hogan all the time on there.
Yeah.
I was a Bam Bam Bigelow
I
guy.
love that big because he was bigger than everybody.
He was
else.
bigger. He did cartwheels. He was a big old 400-pound dude doing cartwheels. Dude was so athletic, man.
Dude, I remember when we pulled up some YouTube clips. 'Cause you can go on there and watch anybody play a game. I found out like in my older years, like when I start being nostalgic and wanting to go buy old system and get all these games, I just literally will watch somebody play it.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm like,
just-
all right, I'm good. That's all I needed. To see.
Yeah.
I just needed the
Give me that
nostalgia.
8-bit real American for me.
I mean, you didn't have many options of wrestlers to choose from
Ted
because
DiBiase,
Yeah.
I think
Andre,
Andre the Giant.
Macho Man, Bam Bam, Hulk.
I think that was about it.
Yeah,
maybe
there wasn't-
6 at the most.
Yeah,
probably.
6 at the most. They didn't kept it short and sweet. It was just kind of like the introduction to WWF at the time.
Yeah.
It was like their first wrestling game.
Yeah, I need to look into that to see if Tecmo is the one that did that because it's
Tecmo,
I think
Tecmo had a
Acclaim-
wrestling game too, I believe.
It had
Really?
definitely
Okay.
a look to
Yeah,
it.
I think
for sure.
It
Tecmo-
looks just like Tecmo.
Dude,
but
I think
wrestling.
I believe you're right, but I believe Tecmo had a pro wrestling game as well, but graphically looked just the
I
same.
believe you are correct on
as
that.
WWF
For sure.
WrestleMania.
My
I
cloudy
think
old
good call
brain
on
remembers
one.
that. Yeah.
Tecmo World Wrestling.
Good
Is
call.
That the same layout. It is almost pretty much the same
You
layout.
called that for sure. Yep. Oh yeah. Same look.
Oh, they wrestled in like gymnasiums, dude. They did promos and everything. I never played this. This was for Sega, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't a Sega. I never had a
89.
Sega.
I think this
dude.
one of those games that was always checked out when I went to the video store. So I've seen the cover for it, but I don't think I ever played it though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch somebody play this for 10 minutes and get my fix.
I mean,
See, I was always a Nintendo person.
Absolutely.
Our house was. I never had a Sega.
I had a Sega too, but Nintendo. I know a lot of people kind of chose at the time.
Yeah.
I kind of chose Sega over Super Nintendo, but all my friends had a Super Nintendo, so I feel like I had it too.
Oh, yeah.
even though I
Yeah.
didn't have it in my possession.
What about your buddies that would have like the little carrying case for all your Nintendo games?
Oh
and all that?
yeah,
Just
oh yeah.
Dude, they had here's the name. Here's just a couple of the characters on Tecmo's program.
Give it
This
to-
was
give us some
original
of 'em.
names. Here it is.
Iguana Man,
Okay.
Original.
the British Star Rex Beat.
Original.
You had the Greek Warrior Pat Gordon,
Original.
Pat Gordon.
Mr.
So
Tattoo
Greek.
Mark Rose.
Original.
Dude, I got to see somebody play this. Blue King, Earl of Doom.
Original.
They had like 12 people. That's a lot for.
They probably
89.
had a Moon Man instead
I have to
of
go
Star
back
Man.
and I still got my Nintendo and it still works. I just
You're
don't
gonna have
have
to
many
find that game now.
games. I'm the goat at one game on Nintendo, and I dare any of y'all to challenge me to Mario 3.
Really?
Oh, dude.
I smash folks on Mario 3.
Yeah, dude.
No
Shout out
chance.
to Mario 3. I love Mario 3.
Mario 1 is great. Mario 2 got a little weird.
I didn't like Mario 2, bro.
It was a little weird.
It just, I tried to like it. We had them all, but I
Yeah.
always skipped from 1 to 3. It was too
I thought
wonky.
2 was made by like a different.
It felt like
It was like made by
And then
different
Luigi
people.
did that stupid thing where he ran in place when he jumped.
Poor
I
Luigi.
fucking hated
I've always
Luigi.
kind of felt sorry for him.
I always
It's heartbreaking, man.
I was always a Luigi fan, but I hated him.
You
on
hated
Mario
Luigi's
2.
back in
I didn't hate Luigi. I
Was it
felt,
3 when that we got introduced to Yoshi?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's when everything changed.
Yes,
Now,
dude.
were you a Sega or a Nintendo guy?
Nintendo.
Nintendo?
But I'm like Brandon. Like I had a cousin, so both of us would get different.
okay.
Yeah, like he
So
would
you
get the
did-
Genesis,
for
I would
sure.
get the Super
Absolutely.
Nintendo, and
So you had the
then
best
Yeah, I
of
didn't miss
he
out
lived
on
he
it.
lived right up the
Yeah.
street, so we just
Yeah, that's how
hang
me and
out.
Ryan were. He had the Sega, I had the Super Nintendo, and then the Nintendo. So if one of us was staying at the other person's house, they were bringing the system
Oh, yeah.
over.
Absolutely. Your
And
cousins
so-
always got you covered. If you don't got it, they got you covered.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, we forgot one character on WrestleMania. Who? Well, we said Hulk Hogan, Andre, Macho Man, $1 Million Man, Bam Bam Bigelow, fucking Honky Tonk Man.
Honky
Well, we
Tonk.
forgot him for a reason.
6 wrestlers. All they had.
Who
was-
forgot him
Whoever
for a
picked
reason.
who picked the honky
But
tonk?
nobody.
But you got to think this was '88, so it means it was '87 when they.
Yeah, he
and
was
that's when
there.
Honky Tonk was headlining with Macho
was.
Man
Yeah,
for all them
yeah.
shows.
It was not a lick of skill, but he
Second-
still had a lot of
second
money.
Let him
longest
tell
reigning
you, he
Intercontinental
he sold more tickets than Kevin Nash. Dude.
I think the Honky Tonk Man is one of the worst wrestlers of all time. I'm being dead
Do
serious.
you believe that he sold more tickets than Kevin Nash though when he was decent?
I mean, maybe
Probably so, 'cause
because
he
it
was fighting
was
Macho Man.
just a
Yeah.
different era
Yeah.
for
Yeah, it's-
sure. I don't think it any
Wasn't
slight
Hulk Hogan on
Diesel
those cards?
or Kevin Nash. Exactly. Wasn't Terry Bollea on there? That's the reason why. Was Randy
Selling
Poffo on
factory
there?
right there.
That's why.
Good call, Chance.
When Mabel's on the other hairline with Diesel, there's a reason why it didn't sell. When Bob Backlund's on the other
Yeah.
end of it,
Duke the
you
Dumpster.
plebeian! Shut up.
I
I hate Bob Backlund.
I hate Bob Backlund so much. Dude.
God,
I have hated Bob Backlund for
when
the
he won
extension.
the belt from Bret Hart, it was just
Dude, I
It was a
hated.
travesty.
I hated the Bob Backlund era, dude. When he
was
came in the
bad,
mid
man.
'90s, that's how far off WWF was.
And
That
then
they
lost
had
the belt
Bob
at a house
Backlund
show.
come back.
It was bad. It
I
was
hated
It's like, what
that.
do we do?
dude.
He's like politician Bob Backlund.
He was using all these words I never heard of. I literally was like getting a Webster's dictionary trying to understand what he was saying. It wasn't an Ask Jeeves then, so I had to literally.
I'm glad his ass was never in one of these video games.
I'm
That's
surprised
the
he's
thing.
not
Thank God.
because he was technically like over it back in the was it the 70s? So you go
Oh, yeah,
or the
he's-
early 80s. I can't
he's
remember
one of
what
the
era.
longest
before we were
world
alive.
champions,
Yeah,
He's like, yeah.
he just had nothing.
Because you think he would have probably been in WWF. Whoa, whoa.
So
Oh no! Oh,
We got to try to see.
man down.
We got to try.
That's how we feel about Bob Backlund. Everyone.
our world's
The
falling
what?
apart. Look who's standing tall though.
Jimmy
The
Hart out
fucking
of
natural
everybody.
disasters.
Ain't the first time he's ever failed through something. Shout out to the Shockmaster.
Boy, I'm
He
so
kept his
sorry,
belt
guys.
up.
Hopefully, I didn't mess nothing up.
No, you didn't mess up nothing.
Gene Okerlund. can
That
stay
guy's been falling through walls his whole career.
Dude,
Gene Okerlund. can
Uncle
stay
Fred just fell again.
shout out Fred Ottman.
No,
No,
I'm not shouting out Fred Hodgman. Freddie got fingered. Freddie's custard.
There we go. We're good.
Something about Mary.
back in
Something about
place.
Fred Flintstone.
I hope he's okay. Right, film.
No.
He's got a
So
concussion.
I tried, Fred. We didn't get.
I
you didn't get your
tried
shout
so
out.
hard.
You will never,
but
you'll
anyway,
never get
Good thing
love
that wasn't Owen Hart. Sorry.
from me.
Too
Too
soon.
soon.
Out of that
Too
one.
soon.
Even 30 years
Sorry.
from now.
25 years ago.
Too soon.
Wow,
R.I.P.
Chance.
R.I.P. Owen Hart.
Yeah.
But yeah, wrestling video games, guys. We kind of strayed away.
That's what we do.
But yeah, WWF Super WrestleMania. from 1992.
Yes, 1,000%.
From the Sega,
Yes.
and that's what we were
I
talking
think that's
about.
Acclaim, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think
Acclaim's the one that
Acclaim
did
was.
Acclaim's the one that did the one we were talking about for
That's what I
Nintendo
thought.
too.
That's what I thought. I remember seeing the graphic. At
You
the
had, I
beginning
think,
of it.
10 playable characters in that one. What I remember from those games is a little meter up in the top corners when you get into the grapple and you try to power somebody and everything. You'd be button mashing.
Honky Tonk Man would have never been able to overpower anybody. That was not happening.
Yeah,
Dude,
and
that was
then
great. That's a classic.
and then that
92.
yeah,
That was
92,
92.
Yeah,
and then
92.
WWF Royal Rumble
Yes.
the following year that came out.
Yes.
Which was just the same game.
The same
updated.
game, but
Yeah.
it had 12 characters I think
Yep.
you could play in
Yep.
it, and it added the Royal Rumble feature.
And it was on just so many different things. They had an arcade, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like there was an arcade game for that.
And
there
I
were
think-
handheld games for that, I feel like. I feel like I had like a little, remember like the little handheld games you could just buy?
the what were they, Tiger?
Yes.
The Tiger games
Yes.
and stuff?
I
Yes.
had like a Royal Rumble game for that. I used to take it to school.
And I
show
remember
off
in
all
the
the
Royal
time.
Rumble game, you could actually use chair. You could get a chair from underneath the ring.
Yes,
in that one
you
too
sure
for the
could.
first
I
time.
think Doink the Clown was on that game.
Probably so.
I played with him. You couldn't tell me nothing. I used to take my Game Gear to school.
Yeah, dude.
The Game Gear was ahead of
Cool
its
Ranch
time.
Doritos, a Game Gear. I got all the phone numbers. No one could tell me
Dude,
nothing.
Game Boy didn't have shit on Game Gear.
Nothing. The Game Gear.
Dude,
is
I didn't.
goat,
Yeah, I didn't
man.
ever have a Game Gear.
I
We
did.
had. I think Cameron, my brother, did. I had a Game Boy because I played
Yeah.
Mario and Tetris. But listen to this fun fact about Royal Rumble, Super Nintendo. Right?
Okay.
It says the SNES version had Ric Flair, Mr. Perfect, $1 Million Man, Yokozuna, and Tatanka. The Genesis version replaced them with Hulk Hogan, IRS, Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, Model, and Papa Shango.
Yeah, that's
Really?
That's the
I
shit
never
I had
knew
to
that.
Sega, so I
I
remember.
see, I remember
We started
Ric
naming those
Flair.
other ones. I was like, I don't remember those.
Yeah,
See,
I
I had
remember
this-
Ric Flair because I had the
Okay.
Super Nintendo
Yeah,
version.
I had
and
I had
everything.
the I had the
Gotcha.
Super Nintendo one, but I didn't. That's crazy.
I
they
didn't
did two
realize.
different
I didn't
versions
know
of
that.
It was just like a
Wow.
contract
I guess.
contract
yeah.
situation or something.
Because I was
so,
like in the
so.
early '90s, I was pretty much the only one out of my friend group that was a wrestling fan till
Yeah.
the Attitude Era and everything. So,
Dude.
yeah, I had nobody else to play wrestling games with besides my pops. And yeah, it was.
Kids
there-
coming up today, surround yourself with wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. There was cheat codes for this game. You could put a cheat code in to get the referee to not come out.
Not come out.
now you can wrestle with no referee.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that one.
I wonder who the referee
The
was.
cheat. What about cheat codes
Mike,
back in the
everybody
day?
knows.
That's what Earl Hebner? What?
It had to have been Earl
Every
Hebner.
game had cheat codes back in the day and everything.
Dude, Game Genie was that.
yeah.
Game Genie was as tall as that mirror. You had to attach it
Yeah.
to the deck of cards.
But dude, all the
Nintendo
NBA
Power Glove. Come on, y'all.
all the NBA Jam cheat codes
Yeah.
that were embedded in that game and everything.
Dude, shout out to Air Dog for NBA Jam. He was as tall as this earthquake figure right here, and he dunked on everybody.
Yeah. That's
Shout
what
out
I'm
to
saying.
Air Bud, my favorite dog from the 90s.
Golden Receiver was a sleeper.
Dude.
It was a sleeper.
Dude, Air Bud can definitely outjump a lot of people, including myself today. And he had a better 3-point shot than me. I suck.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Air Bud though.
I love Air Bud.
What you got?
I think he's watching.
We missed one from 1991.
Uh-oh.
It was an arcade game.
The WWF.
WrestleFest.
Yeah, WrestleFest.
WrestleFest!
Let me look that up. Hang
Mm.
on. That's what
I
I'm doing on
remember
my phone.
WrestleFest.
guys.
It was in the skate. It was in the skating
Yeah.
rings.
Fun fact, I used to literally get dropped off at Tilt in Hickory Hollow Mall, and I would play that game.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Killed the arcade.
Shout
Oh,
out to Tilt, y'all.
man,
like, literally,
yes.
like,
you remember that game? It was
that's
the
back when you
arcade
could just be
game.
dropped off at the
Yep.
mall. I played
Yeah.
WrestleFest. Dude, Chance, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out
My-
Chance,
Take
dude.
me back.
My
And
aunt.
it never came out on.
Nope. It never
No,
got.
I don't think so.
I do remember playing it in the
bro.
arcade, though.
It was. It said it was Tecmo. It was Tecmo did it in
Yep.
'91.
Dude, a good Saturday, Mr. Gaddy's Pizza,
Yep.
Yep.
get some
Because you had
WrestleFest.
WWF Superstars, the arcade game.
Yeah.
That came out a few years before.
Yes, that was a mecca right there. That game was special.
February
But I liked that one. The WrestleFest better though.
February 2012, THQ released a remake of the game for iOS, featuring both current and former wrestlers.
All right.
What?
Yeah,
In 2012?
yeah, but it was for it was like for the iPhone. It was like for the like
Well,
a
I'll
game.
never ever have it. Team Samsung.
All right, here we go. Here's the roster.
Give us
guys.
the roster.
Let's
Yep.
roster.
Let's
WrestleFest.
hear these superstars.
Big Boss Man, already my favorite game. If
Love
Ray
him.
Charles on it. Legion of Doom.
Oh, it's
Love.
sold.
Jake the Snake,
Love.
Ted DiBiase, Ultimate Warrior, Hogan, Earthquake, Mr. Perfect, Demolition, and Sergeant Slaughter.
Damn, that's a good roster.
Yep.
Hell of a roster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
And it
aunt,
had your boy Mean Gene.
Yeah.
I love Mean Gene.
but
love
my
Mean Gene.
aunt, she worked at an arcade, and I would go there and eat some cheese sticks and
Was it the West Nashville?
So you were the one that got the greasy butt.
I would thought you were so cool if I would have known you. That's like
My
he's got cheese sticks and wrestling games.
Damn,
Like,
getting the buttons all
91? I don't know if I had a cheese stick till like
I
the
was
late
eating,
90s.
I was eating
That's
SpaghettiOs watching
that's why I
playing
still
my
love
wrestling
them.
games. It's gotta be
Chance lived a privileged childhood eating
Yeah.
cheese sticks in 91. I didn't even know
What
what a cheese
arcade,
stick
what
was.
West
arcade was
Nashville
this back in
goat.
the day? What arcade was
I
it?
have no idea. I can find out.
You're
though.
a West Nashville
Yeah.
goat. though.
Yeah.
It was out of my territory. It was probably in Hickory Hollow or
I
something.
mean, that's
It
where I
probably
was
Tilt.
at
It
that
was
time.
probably
Yeah.
Tilt.
I
Maybe.
was there, like
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
I was only like
Bears. That's where
5
I
or
was
6,
playing
so
at.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. But
Still
I just
though, but
remember
just
those
feeding
cheese
it.
sticks and
The cheese sticks. It was like it was Mr. Getty's if I was out. If I was
Oh,
at home,
yeah.
it was SpaghettiOs.
See, Mr. Getty's had the Ninja Turtles and the
Yeah.
Simpsons arcade
Yeah.
game.
The Simpsons arcade.
Dude.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Bart's Nightmare was my shit. For Super Nintendo, Bart's Nightmare, it was a fire game.
Boy, I remember that.
Yeah, I never really got into the show a lot. I watched
Yeah.
a handful of episodes of The Simpsons. I just never really could get into it. But I love the games though.
Yeah.
we like that one, and then there was a Krusty's Funhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
something
remember
like-
that.
yeah.
I remember that for sure.
Well, I'm going to throw one out here for you. I know I mentioned it earlier before we started recording, and none of y'all remember. But Saturday Night Slam Masters from 1994.
Man, you took
It was a Super Nintendo. It was an arcade game overseas, but then Super Nintendo released it. But it was kind of a Street Fighter meets wrestling game. It had every wrestler had an entrance into the ring. It was flashy. It was freaking awesome. You had some characters known as Jumbo Flapjack,
original
Okay,
Yes.
jump.
King Rastamon as a
stereotype.
Right.
The original
Did
Kofi
Vince
Kingston.
McMahon create this?
The original Kofi Kingston.
and El Stingray.
El Stingray.
El Stingray sounds like El Garbage.
But it was a fun smash them up. But you had pins and submissions in
If
the game
anybody literally, without Googling it, remembers that game, I will send you half my bowl of SpaghettiOs as a consolation prize because I didn't remember it until you brought it up.
too. And then, but you said you were a Sega guy though.
I was a big Sega guy.
Yeah, you were a
Sure.
Sega guy, so it makes sense because
I
it only
think
came out on Super
I
Nintendo.
bought Eternal Champions instead. That was- yeah.
I know. I bet a game you played too because I had a. So we had Super Nintendo, but one of my closest friends in school had a Sega. So that's when I got my fix for Sega until like later we got one. But it was two versions of the Sega. There was the big, huge one, then there was the little small. We used to play Joe Montana football.
Yes.
And that game, bro, anybody that plays it knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You could literally, if you had Marcus Allen, you could run
Yes.
the field over and
over and over.
Nobody
and over.
touched it.
I had the game
Nobody
and I
touched it.
played it.
Yes,
You're
dude.
totally right.
That's
Dude.
Sports Talk Baseball.
Sports
Talk
Fire.
Baseball, man.
Fire.
For Sega, because Ryan had the Sega.
We got to do a.
We'll definitely do like a
video
sports
games.
video games.
game. Yeah, I can.
Because I'm having so much fun right now.
This is awesome.
And I was the one that was like, should we do it, man?
Nah, for sure.
But so this next one, I got to talk about it because I got it and played it.
Yeah.
It's just not good though, man. It's WrestleMania the arcade game.
Yeah.
It was 95. It's like we got it for PlayStation, and I asked for wrestling games when I was a kid, and that's what I got. But I didn't know what I was getting.
Yeah.
Dude, they only had like 7 wrestlers on it, and it was like during the years when wrestling was horrible.
Yeah.
not
Shawn Michaels had
Bret
like
Hart, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Bam Bam, Yoko, and Doink, and Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Right.
Luger was worthless.
I mean,
But
if you
worthless.
think about the roster currently, then though, that's about the best you're gonna.
No, that's
get.
all you. That was the
Yeah.
best you could.
For
But
sure.
like, what I didn't like about it though, with it being arcade, like
You had
Doink
openings.
would pull out like a mallet and hit
Yeah.
people, and
Yeah.
it was like they were trying to be not Mortal Kombat, but it was just trying. It was like a very exaggerated.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is- yeah.
probably the same people
Well,
made
you-
the game.
well,
Probably.
it's
It was,
right-
it was a claim, I think, but it was
Yeah.
just like.
But
you
you're
know.
right there, right at the time of Mortal
sure.
Kombat is
Absolutely.
ruling the arcade.
Well, that's
industry
what I was
at the-
playing.
Yeah,
I was
90,
playing.
what did Mortal Kombat come out in 94?
Around that time, yeah.
And then 93,
they
94.
had a part 2 that was real special. What was it?
Of this one.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat 2 is one of the greatest
Yes.
games ever made.
Facts.
That's my favorite Mortal Kombat game was Mortal Kombat
but
2.
I played that game right
Oh,
there.
yeah,
but I just
yeah.
don't.
It wasn't fun.
Do you remember the sequel to that one though? In Your House.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They did an In Your House. I'm gonna look it up too.
Yeah.
In Your House was special when it first came out.
That was
just in
on
general.
PlayStation. Yep.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I had
PlayStation.
it.
Yeah,
Super
so that
Nintendo.
I
It
had
was on
that.
Super
that
Nintendo,
one was,
too.
that one was better
I
because it
didn't
had
have
Vader
that
on it.
game, but
Oh,
I
that one
used
had
to-
Vader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vader.
And each
Vader was on that
wrestler
one, yeah.
had their own place that you would wrestle at.
I used to rent that game a lot, but I never owned it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I do remember liking a lot, but and I forgot about it till I was just looking at the. God, it's crazy. How
When I started like originally looking, when we started talking about potentially doing this episode, there was a WCW game too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I thought you would have been the only one that would remember that because you're like,
There was a
big-
Nintendo WCW
yeah, I had
game.
no recollection of it until I was doing some research earlier. I mean, it had like Flair and everybody on it. Did you remember that game? Did anybody remember that? Like,
in the 90s?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there was
I didn't know.
like an NES.
they just didn't do a
WCW.
good job of selling merchandise. Then,
No,
you know.
no.
Classic
So-
WCW.
Yeah.
Sure.
WO.
For sure. I had every one of the wrestling figures, but I never had any of the
Those
games.
glue
nothing.
wrestling figures
Yeah.
were garbage.
Dude, this is the one that I remember being super fire because this is the one that had, like you were saying, each character had their own like board
Arena.
that you wrestled
Yep.
in, arena. You had Bret Hart, Taker, Shawn Michaels, British Bulldog, Owen, Goldust, Ahmed Johnson.
Okay, I'm never playing the game. Just
And,
stop the
I-
podcast
you know, it's,
now.
you know, and I used to play with Ahmed a lot back then.
Of course you did.
What was Ahmed?
We're still friends. Okay.
And it says early in development, Jeff Jarrett was planned to be a part of the roster and was clipped from the game for some reason.
Probably
When
from walking out
when he
for
left, that's exactly what it
858
says. When he walked out for a contract.
That dude always
Lord
messed up
have
his
mercy.
money. I love Jeff Jarrett, though.
I got to look up this WCW game you're talking about.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's like an NES game.
I just don't remember Ahmed Johnson on
Here
any
we go.
game, but I'm glad I don't.
Dude.
Do you remember this
I do-
game?
Yes.
I
We
don't
had the
remember
Road
that.
Warriors on the front of it. Yes,
Really?
dude.
See, I don't recall that game at all.
That's a boss cover, though.
Yeah,
Like,
when I was doing
this-
research of it, I saw that. I don't remember that game.
okay. I didn't write it on my list because I was just like, I don't remember it, but
Yeah,
I just
that's
thought
why I
one of
didn't
y'all
put it on my
might.
list.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, because I don't.
It looks fire, though.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
I don't remember
bro.
that
I
game
forgot
at all.
all about this game, bro.
I wonder how many wrestlers they had on it.
Let's see. Let's see if I can find it.
As long as Terrence Taylor wasn't on there, we're good. Not Terry Taylor, Terrence Taylor.
This was 1989, 1990 is when it came out.
Okay, that's before that, thankfully.
And it's
Had to
it
have
was released
Flair.
in Japan in '89 and then in America in 1990.
okay.
Had to have Flair on it.
It says
Man, if it was 89,
cartridge
maybe.
showing it was a mock-up card. Let's see, selectable moveset. Here we go. Playable wrestlers. Oh my God, I remember this game, bro.
Really?
Yes, Ric Flair, Sting, Luger, Mike Rotunda, Road Warrior, Hawk and Animal, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Kevin Sullivan, Ricky Steamboat, Rick Steiner, Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, and Michael Hayes.
I mean, I love every one of them. Like,
Then it
Holy
says
cow.
the final opponent was a masked wrestler named WCW Master.
so
then
her
that's
wasn't
pretty
involved
much-
in
it
this
was-
mess, was he?
Then they ruined it.
He was a pizza delivery man.
Holy cow! That's
Bro,
an
that-
amazing roster.
It really is, though.
about it.
I never knew
For
Dr. Death
Nintendo-
Steve Williams was ever on the game. I love him.
For a Nintendo
For
NES
sure.
game. That's-
I might try to find this. I still have a Nintendo. It
And
works,
looking at
so.
these wrestlers, a lot of those wrestlers were wrestlers that wrestled in Japan a lot.
That is
and it's
true.
where it
That's
started
true.
initially. So
That
I
is
wonder if
true.
it was like a thing where it was just in Japan and then WCW maybe.
That's the
brought
dopest
the rights.
wrestling cover for a
Yeah.
game, though.
Yeah.
They were iconic, man.
That's crazy, bro.
That-
I forgot all about
I just
that
wasn't
game,
going to mention
dude.
it, but I'm glad we
Yeah.
all kind of like we had it on our tip of our tongue to discuss, but we just
Yeah, that's why I didn't break because I when I was doing like you said doing research, I saw where that was listed. I was like, I don't.
Like I said though, like I guarantee none of the like roster even had the game. They did such a crap job of.
And see another
promoting
one that
stuff.
you're going off of Japan. You remember WCW versus the World when we started?
Yeah,
I think that
we know
was-
that one. That's
That was what 96
Yeah.
maybe 97.
It's a classic
That,
one.
that was a claim. That's when
Yes.
we're starting to get into the
Yeah.
the meat and potatoes
sure.
of wrestling games.
absolutely
for me.
100%.
So many WCW games. Mayhem.
They had a
versus
lot.
the World, NWO
The Worst of the
Tour,
World was one
Nitro.
WCW
That's
versus the
not that one
World.
with Sting on it.
Is that the one that had no? Because it came out before NWO Revenge
not
and
that
stuff
one.
like.
That's the one I'm.
You're talking about the
No.
one for 64, bro.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one for 60.
Oh,
I know what it's called. Hang on. I'm fixing to find it. Because my buddy had it. Too.
No, that was like the mecca of the wrestling games during that
THQ.
time.
That's when THQ started making them. They were just so
Okay.
much more fire.
You
But I know the one you're
roster,
talking
it had
about,
like
too.
all Japan wrestlers, New Japan
Yeah.
wrestlers on it.
Was Masahiro Chono on there? Masahiro Chono.
I think it's this one, bro. WCW versus NWO World Tour.
Okay, is that it?
I'll
Maybe
look.
I
it-
did see the cover. I mean, that was big. I remember that game like it was.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's from the
Yeah.
same guys that from that does No Mercy WrestleMania 2. It may be that World
I just need to
Tour
know if
one.
Masahiro Chono was on there because
Holy shit! Do y'all remember WCW Super Brawl for Super Nintendo?
No, don't remember that one either.
That one doesn't look familiar to me.
WCW versus NWO World Tour.
Yes.
That's the one, because THQ, when Nintendo 64 started making them wrestling games,
Dude.
that's when shit really started taking, because it was doing the Royal Rumbles whenever it would show the wrestler coming in, and it was like they were running straight towards the camera, bro.
Yes,
it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And back then, like, the graphics were like the greatest.
Oh,
dude,
it
it
was
was-
64-bit. I mean, that was like
Yeah.
And that's when stuff
8 to 32 to 64. I mean, that was like
Yeah, because you
You
had
gotta-
WWF Warzone
Yeah,
that come out
Warzone,
the same year as WCW NWO Revenge in '98. You had those two going right at each
that's
other.
But
Two
see-
of the greatest wrestling games ever
it was
made.
the best era for
But
wrestling.
see, Warzone, I didn't like Acclaim near as much as I like THQ.
Yeah.
I thought THQ played a lot better, and then once they did,
I agree.
they did that one, and then they did
WrestleMania
a sold out
WrestleMania
game or
2000.
something like that too. There was like
NW,
sold out.
NWO sold out.
Yeah, I
think.
remember that.
Yep.
I remember playing that one.
Yeah, WrestleMania 2000 was a bad game too because they brought in the TLC matches. You got to, but
Yep.
what I loved about all these games is you could go in and customize, like create your
Correct.
wrestler, do everything down to the T. You can make, I mean, just so great. It
Started getting more customized for sure. It
you know,
wasn't just
and you
preset
could-
everything.
You could do like a play where you go throughout your whole career, winning the
Yeah.
European title up to the tag team titles and everything.
I've spent my whole career being Virgil, and I'm not changing. So I never made a custom person. But
But yeah, those the
yeah, that game
WCW
right there.
NWO Revenge
Yeah.
and WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah,
Those
Yeah,
those two games.
for sure.
But see, then it got even better because after they did WrestleMania 2000, they did WWF No Mercy the next year.
Yes, yeah.
So it
That
just
was-
kept improving
Yeah.
each year.
Yeah.
And then there was so many more characters on No Mercy because that was around the time where everything was infiltrating.
Everything was just
yes.
competition in general.
Yeah.
That's why they kept coming out with games more regularly because
When nobody had a stronghold on
correct.
anything.
They're
Yeah.
just trying to top each other with every single thing they were
Dude,
doing.
those three years of wrestling games.
We
were
all
just,
were spoiled just
oh
in
my
wrestling
gosh.
in general.
Because while THQ was doing that on the 64 console, you had Warzone, but then the next one after that was WWF Attitude, which was a better version of Warzone. And that's when stuff started getting dope because that's when you could start doing like pay-per-views. You could kind of do like season mode ish. It wasn't just you got 8 wrestlers and you just got to fight this
Yeah.
one, you know.
Is that the one where you can start like creating your own pay-per-view, like making your own match cards to pay-per-views and everything?
Maybe I know WWE 2K was doing that, but it was doing it before that.
Yeah.
And then there's that whole era of stuff that I missed that people said was some of the best wrestling games was when it was SmackDown. The SmackDown stuff for PlayStation.
Yeah, that stuff was big.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Like SmackDown. All
Here
kinds of
comes
stuff.
the pain.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
played any
yeah,
of those.
yeah.
Were you a player of those games?
Yeah, I
so
like
they
it.
were legit.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like how Madden is. It was kind of like the same game over and over. They put just a couple of
Yeah, I just
new
couldn't keep up with
roster,
the
a couple of
games.
different
Yeah.
game modes in there.
It was got a little too saturated for me.
Yep, but they were fun. I mean, they played good.
I remember what was the WCW game where it was in the select a character screen and it had like the live video in behind them. Like if you let it like sit on the character, you get like a little a video package with them.
I don't remember that one, but it sounds
Was
awesome.
that was it? It wasn't a Thunder, was it?
It maybe
Thunder
probably
was a big game.
Yeah, it
though,
may have
for
been.
sure. Thunder was a big
WCW
game.
Thunder.
Let's see.
They had a hot little
good
moment.
possibility.
I know when WCW was trying to, not the THQ WCW, when they were doing the PlayStation releases with EA, they were bad. The backstage assault it was bad.
Even the
Nitro
graphics
was
looked
bad.
worse than the
Yeah, it
N64
was bad.
games.
Yeah,
It was bad.
I didn't ever
And
have
that's
it.
when it started getting a little too like with the N64, it was pretty still like button mashing
Yeah.
game and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Hold B to get a strong grapple.
Yeah.
But then once the 2Ks and all that
2K took it to another level, bro.
yeah. See, I haven't played
Same.
probably a wrestling game in forever.
Yeah, I show my age on my video game knowledge.
Whenever we do like a get together with all of us sometime, man, I'll have to bring the Xbox and y'all can just
See,
Check
I've
out
heard it. I
2K.
bet it looks
I'm
amazing.
sure. Yeah,
Dude,
I mean, the
I mean-
commercial looks great.
Yeah.
the coolest thing about 2K, because I played 2K heavy, like 14, 15, 16. When I'd get 2K WWE, 2K NBA every year.
Yeah.
And then I stopped for 4 or 5 years, and I got 20, I think. And then I hadn't played it till this year, 24. And dude, it's insane. I mean, there's a mode where you can relive the WrestleMania moments.
Oh, that's cool.
It's cool. Like from a visual
I'm
standpoint,
sure it's hard as hell.
it is. I have to play it on easy right now until I learn everything.
Yeah.
But like Corey Graves does like the ring announcing during like the old matches, so because you can't go back and get like
Yeah.
you know.
That was my next question. If you were able to like unlock certain people and
You can unlock tons of like variations of characters, and there's a lot of characters that you can like get. Like you can get 98 Kane or something.
Oh, okay.
Or you can get like certain versions of people. But dude, you can literally do universe mode, and like right now, I went and downloaded a bunch of people that from like AEW.
Yeah.
Did you
and
get the
moved
Chad
them.
Arms character?
I haven't got Chad Arms. Apparently, somebody created a Chad Arms character.
Yeah,
and
there
it
is
looks
a
just
Chad
like
Arms
It
you.
looks
character
just
out
like
there.
me. Shout out to whoever did that.
Yep.
Y'all probably watching this, but it's fun as hell, bro. You can make your own pay-per-views. You create your champions. Then there's like a mode where you create your own wrestler and you try to go up the ranks. Roman vacates the title, and you have to like go
Work your
through a
way
bunch of stuff to work. Yeah, it's super fun.
How
Did
many
they-
wrestlers off top of your head do you think are like on the game?
Over
you play?
100.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
so many. I mean, they've got NXT full
Yep.
roster, like women, like 30, probably 25 women like wrestlers on
That's
there.
impressive.
Yeah.
They got like,
and all their entrances and everything.
yeah, bro,
That's
all of them.
impressive. Yeah.
See, okay, I'll take it back. The last wrestling game I remember playing was the one that was heavy on the Stone Cold. It did like the Stone Cold storyline to it, where you go through like all his big moments through his career.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Was that a 2K one?
I don't know about that one. I know that.
remember that,
I know that when THQ was still making games, and then they went to SmackDown versus Raw. Those were fire.
Yeah.
Like the
I
SmackDown
remember
versus
that.
Raw, the
Yeah.
SmackDown that had Brock Lesnar on it was really good, and it was just a better version of the 64 because it was THQ.
Oh, okay.
So they started.
My
going to
brother would probably
PlayStation.
know.
Yeah.
My brother probably played those.
They started going to PlayStation, and I can't remember which one Stone Cold what you're talking about, but it may have been one of the 2Ks.
Yeah.
'Cause every
'cause
year
it-
they do like a certain.
Yeah, it was because then didn't they have one as a 1 year was an Ultimate Warrior themed one and everything.
I think so. Yeah.
And then I
Let
remember
me know
you
which one that is, so I won't play it.
and then I remember you getting one year that came with like a Ric Flair Funko Pop or something like that.
Yeah, dude. I got. It was. I think it was 16 maybe.
That sounds about right.
And
I
it was like an
remember that, yeah.
Ultimate Edition, and I got it just for the Ric Flair Funko Pop. Then it gave you a bunch of downloadable content.
Yeah.
And I held on to that Ric Flair for 4 years, and he sold the pop for like $150. Yeah. Because it was just an exclusive pop Funko.
Damn,
that
I would
came
have
with-
asked for a Flash Funko Pop. Yeah. Then I would have never sold that.
He's
so funky.
Flash Funk has ever been on a wrestling video game.
Signs point to hell no.
He's on the do you have there was an ECW video game, correct?
Oh yeah, there was a couple, but the best one was Anarchy Rules because Jazz was on there.
Oh,
and
man.
I used to whoop
Jazz,
Donna Marie.
she's iconic for a reason,
She's
dude.
iconic.
Shout out to Jazz for sure.
Yeah, just waiting to get that shout out to Jazz.
Yeah.
on
I
there.
mean, why not?
Which one did you talk about?
Anarchy Rules?
Anarchy Rules.
Yeah.
What about Hardcore Revolution? It got a 7 out of 10 on
Yeah.
IGN, so it must have been a pretty
Yeah,
good game.
I liked all the ECW games, but I was an ECW fan.
Yeah, sure,
so-
absolutely.
That's dope, though. I never
Yep.
even played them, man.
I think it was Hardcore. Hold on. I think it might be the one I remember.
Hardcore Revolution.
I feel like I
Yeah.
remember that one, yeah.
Yeah, they were both good. But
And then you had, I
don't
mean,
know if that one
ECW
had
had
jazz.
some. TNA had one that they said
Yep.
was pretty solid. TNA Wrestling in 08. It had Kurt Angle on the front. AEW has a wrestling game
Yeah,
that
out
they said's
now.
pretty solid.
Yeah.
I hadn't played any of them.
But did you say you were able to like download AEW wrestlers onto this?
Yeah, so like on the WWE on 2K, they'll have what they call like a community thing where you go on and you can download, and there's hundreds of thousands of wrestlers that people have created and uploaded.
they do
Whether
a
they're
good
not on
job
the
them,
game,
too.
dude, it's insane. Like I downloaded CM Punk, I downloaded John Moxley, MJF, like a lot of the big, like
Yeah.
Adam Copeland for me, AEW Christian, like all those guys, and then and they got their move set because all that stuff's already in the game because they've been in WWE before.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
So it's just all stored. So when you go to create a wrestler, you can give them Edge's move set.
Well, MJF.
Let somebody
There's-
else go in there and fine tune that.
There's
You-
a-
MJF, yeah, but I haven't played with MJF yet.
How old? Like, how far does it go back age wise? Like, as far does it go like the 90s, 80s? Like, with Bruno
Yep.
Sammartino.
I'm
like,
sure if you
yeah.
I'm sure if you search it, somebody's created anything. Anybody that's wrestling, you can probably hit the Shockmaster. I guarantee he's on there.
don't ruin my day.
I need to go on there and look, and I need to go on there and download all like the WWF and make a universe of nothing but like the
Old
90s.
school
And
shit.
they have old arenas on there. Like
You can check
Really?
the old arenas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Everything.
super cool.
See that? Yeah, that's what I would.
We
do.
should
Make me
just start a
go.
league.
I think I'm
Okay,
about to
I'll
go
go
ahead and
get
make
a.
this
I'll go get a
purchase.
Yeah,
system.
dude.
I've
It's
been
fire.
on the.
I've been
years
needing
doing
a reason to
it,
go
so-
get a new system.
Yeah, I seriously though. Yeah, I'm
Bro.
yeah.
I've been that for in MLB. I've been needing a reason.
That's
to get
what I was
a new
playing up
system.
before I came
For
here.
sure, 1,000%.
I got to let my boy Spence. I got to live through with Spencer Strider on the game since he's out for the year.
R.I.P. his
Makes me
arm.
sick to my
R.I.P.
stomach.
his arm.
I'm a trader. I like 3 teams, so and 2 of them are playing well. So
I fuck with the Braves won.
Yeah.
They did,
As this is
yeah,
being
they
filmed,
won.
Jordan's a Dodgers fan.
I'm a
Braves were down to the final out against the Marlins tonight.
Dodgers, Cubs, and Braves fans. People, I'm sorry, but I just can't. I literally love all 3 of them teams. So
Question of the
Fuck the
day, though,
American League,
is
Tony.
for you, Brandon. I
Uh-huh.
know you're a big Kentucky basketball
Yes,
fan.
sir.
What about this new hire for Kentucky
Oh,
basketball?
man,
Is Mark Pope.
yes, sir. They had the absolute greatest freaking like introductory press conference today. Rupp Arena has 24,000 people.
Yep.
They couldn't fit them all in there today.
Really?
It was the craziest turnout ever, and all
Because he
the,
was coaching somewhere, wasn't he?
Yeah,
BYU.
BYU. He
yeah.
was a team captain on the
I remember
on
when he
96
played.
champion.
Yeah.
The entire
Yeah.
96 team came out on a big old bus today.
Was
Really?
Travis Ford there?
I think
Didn't he play? They played the same time.
Thank
Travis
you.
Ford.
All of them were there. Like everybody
yeah.
was there. Like
Wow.
and it was
Shout out
it
Mark
was
Pope,
insane.
dude.
Some of the recruits are still like, hold on, this guy's cool. Like he's cool. Like I'm game. I'm
Yeah.
in. Like I love Coach Cal. I know we're getting off subject, but I love Coach Cal. But I love Kentucky more than Coach Cal.
Yeah.
So
I'm a Tennessee fan. I told somebody today Coach Cal will win a national championship at Arkansas before Tennessee will.
and Kentucky.
and Vanderbilt for sure, and the Atlanta Falcons.
Because give him 2 years, he'll
1,000%.
and then he'll get lackadaisical. And then he'll get comfortable.
God, Tony using the
I know,
7-syllable
use those Bob Backlund words over there.
He got that
Words.
lifetime contract from
Yeah,
Kentucky, and
for
then he
sure.
put it on cruise control.
Sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
if we're talking Arkansas round ball,
Woo, pig suey.
I don't know anybody unless it's Nolan Richardson. Damn it,
Corliss Williamson?
That's
No, I'm
my
talking about
cousin.
coach.
Oh, yeah. That's the only one you need to know.
Todd Day, damn it, Todd Day could shoot the lights out in the '90s.
Hey, don't give up on your boy Scott Drew, man. He was bad. He was a bad dude back in the day.
Who?
Is it Scott Drew?
Drew Maddox.
Scott
Drew turned down the Kentucky job. He's the Baylor's coach, but I know you were at.
Oh, you're talking about Drew. You're talking about
Maddox.
you're talking about Bryce Drew's brother, Scott Drew.
Maybe.
You're talking about Drew Maddox. But
I mean,
I love Drew Maddox.
I do too, bro. I'm a Vandy guy. dude.
yeah,
Drew
I
Maddox-
remember my grandparents had season tickets
Yeah.
to Vandy back in the early '90s, and I remember just a blonde-haired, curly-haired dude that was shooting up threes.
I was not a Kevin Stallings fan whatsoever, nor was I a Jan Van Bredikoff fan.
Jan Van.
You a Bobby Johnson fan, though, aren't you?
No, Steve Martin. He
So
was
you love all,
exactly
you about to say you love all his movies, don't you?
Bobby Johnson. Dude, that was Steve Martin coaching Vanderbilt in a few years.
One of the
We're
nicest
completely-
men I ever met, though.
He is nice. I met
Yeah.
him at Target, I think, and I met Kevin Stallings at Target. But he did.
And you didn't even talk to him, and I did. And you're the Vandy fan.
I didn't like him, dude.
Because of his skullet, was it his skullet?
We saw him at Target.
Yeah, and I went up
Random.
and talked to him, but he's the fan. Like,
I have shit to say to him.
I ain't got no shit to say on that one. Shout out to Squints.
Shout out to Squint. But yeah, man, did we leave any wrestling games off, man? I'm sure we did, but
Yeah,
like
probably.
any that we should mention.
Any that you got on from your list?
I
that
just
you-
want to shout out 2K13 with CM Punk on the cover. 'cause that was my
Yes,
favorite
I
one.
knew
But
that was
other than
one
that,
game.
yep.
Didn't one of them have like a Sting reveal, like when he came into
Yeah,
WWE? I
the
remember
year
that
that
one
he
being a
came.
big deal.
That may have been the
Okay.
next year.
That was like, okay, I want to buy a new system and I want to buy that game,
Mm-hmm.
but I held off. But I like right now, like I'm starting to.
Yeah, I'm getting that itch. It's like, where can I Walmart's right over there. Let me go
for
get a
sure.
PS5 right
Yeah.
quick.
I think the Stone Cold one was 16.
Oh, okay.
But you know what I'm
'Cause
talking
nowadays,
about,
can't
right
you-
there with Sting?
Yeah.
Because now can't you like play cross platforms too?
Yep.
Like
That's what I was wondering.
Cross
yeah.
platform, yep.
what do you got, Chance?
Can't wait for y'all to get done.
I got
with the new system.
I just got the PS4, but I'm about to upgrade that PS5 soon.
Oh man.
I got an Xbox. Well, it's cross platform.
Yeah, it's cross-platform.
Nah, that's cool that it can do that though.
No, yeah.
I've always been a when it came to like the New Year's system, I was always PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm always kind of like I stick to what my guns. Like if I get a new system, it would be a PS5 probably.
But MLB is like on all platforms because it used to be only PlayStation.
yeah,
MLB
for
the
sure.
show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I need that baseball game.
Dude, yeah, it's been too long since I played a baseball game.
My wife is watching.
I'm sorry.
Fiance should be my wife in a few weeks. I'm sorry.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Congrats,
It's
Bubba.
disgusting, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I
No.
love you.
Do you have any other ones?
Nope.
No.
I think we
Do
covered
you have any
everything
other
I
ones
had.
on yours?
No, man.
I think
I think we covered a good amount of them, man. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad y'all decided to do this one, and I wasn't sure we would be able to make it happen, and
We can talk about anything.
no, we
Yeah.
really
Between us
can.
four.
Yeah.
We really can. And we found out about so many games that I just forgot, like that WCW Nintendo game.
Yeah,
bro.
no clue. Fuck.
That's what I'm going
crazy.
to buy.
Yeah, I
Nintendo.
just totally forgot about that one, but
Well,
now
can't
I'm like
with these new
invested,
systems,
though. Like,
can't
I want
you
to know
like
more
download
about
that stuff onto them?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, sign me up. I'm getting a new system soon.
Me too. Damn it! I don't feel bad about it at all. I don't. We all deserve nice things. Life's too short, and so is Gary Coleman. So,
On that
Gary
note,
Coleman, baby.
thank you to Trouble Spirits.
Thank you to all the wrestlers.
that are still standing here right now.
Except Mean Gene.
Mean Gene's out on the
Mean
floor
Gene.
right now
thank
with
you
a
to Acclaim
with
for
a
making my
contusion.
childhood incredible.
Absolutely, man. Hit the subscribe button, baby. We're on the way. We thank y'all for 600 subscribers.
Yes,
on the road to
thank y'all.
750. That's the next milestone, and then 1,000 after that. So let's just keep pushing, and we'll see y'all next week, man.
We out this motherfucker.
Well, a pay window, baby.